You guys, we did it! We did 31 videos in 31 days. This is a challenge that I have had for 4 years now, and I've never been able to accomplish it. So I wanted to talk to you today about what it's like posting every single day for an entire month, how to achieve that goal, what you need along the way, and maybe some expectations and things that I learned. So let's dive into this last video of YouTuber. So over on Instagram, I asked you guys a couple of questions as well, and I do want to get to those questions. But first, I want to talk to you about the number one thing that I think needs to cross your mind when you are accepting a challenge of this scope. And it doesn't necessarily have to be posting a video every single day, but that thing is feasibility. So there's a couple of things that come along with this. Plan ahead. If you are going to be doing a video challenge like this, plan ahead. Like, have your content calendar, whether that's posting on Instagram every single day, doing any type of social content, or even just completing a project for school. If you plan ahead and you block out the time to do said tasks to complete the goal, then you're gonna be in a lot of a better spot. In September, I ended up filming 9 or 8, I think it was 8 out of the 31 videos, and that helped get me my foot in the game. Me as well had a little bit higher content at the beginning of this month. One of the questions, actually, maybe I'll weave them into as we're going through things. My one friend Rob asked, how manageable is it to post a video every day and have a full-time job? Well, Rob, it's very hard. And there are a couple of different sacrifices that I found throughout this month that now, looking back on it, I'm glad that this challenge is complete. Because the way that my schedule would work some days is I would wake up, go to work, come home, film a video, edit it, put it out, and rinse and repeat. And that made it really, really hard. Now, the sacrifice part as well also comes on the side of sacrificing the kind of content that you want to release. So oftentimes I love doing vlogs, I love doing really high production videos like the 1 hour sleep routine, for example, where there are so many shots, so many B-roll pieces. But when you get later into the month and you are just trying to survive, and you have gotten to the point where when you wake up that day, you need to do everything for a video and then put it out, there's gonna be some sacrifice on the end of quality there. And then the third thing within feasibility is if you're doing a project like this, you 100% need a support system. I know I wouldn't have been able to get through this month if it wasn't for Scotty, because sometimes it would be like 6 or 7 o'clock at night and I would look at Scotty and be like, I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a video today. And he would be like, just try. And the reason why he did that is because he knew how badly I wanted to achieve this goal. But there were certainly times where I could tell he so badly wanted to be like, just go to bed, pick it up tomorrow. But he felt the room and he realized that I would beat myself up harder than anyone else if I didn't achieve this goal. Having a support system doesn't necessarily mean having a cheerleader either. It could mean something like there were nights where I wasn't able to help with dinner or help clean up for dinner or do any of those type of normal household things because my support system knew that I just didn't have time. I was just working so hard every single day just to try to get this content out that there was no way that I could help in those things to have the quality of content that I wanted to put out. So hugest thank you out to Scotty for all of that support. And if you guys are doing any type of project, whether that be going to med school or simply just posting content every single day, you're gonna need that support system around you. Because mentally, there was a lot of stuff going on as well. And one of the other questions was, do you ever get grumpy? You are the most positive person ever. Thank you very much. I really do try to be positive. There were most certainly days where I could feel myself bubbling up and complaining with the fact that I had to do all these things of this self-imposed challenge that I had put onto my own plate. But for the most part, you really do have to kind of just go into this with positivity. And you won't be able to achieve a dream like this if you don't believe that you can achieve it. So the second part of posting a video every single day is quality. These are things that we've kind of already touched on, but one thing that I want to say is there's a little bit of wavering and self-doubt included in quality. Oftentimes I would sit down, film a video, and because my mind was spinning so quickly and I was just kind of spinning my tires, I would walk away from the camera being like, was that even good enough to post? Is this going to even mean anything to anyone? And oftentimes, if I did make a post, even if it didn't have a ton of views on it, I would get a message from someone saying, hey, thanks for posting this video, and it made it all worth it. But at the end of the day, you have to really like what you're putting out there in the world. And if you feel confident about it, you're gonna feel more confident standing your ground if someone puts a dislike on the dislike button, which in fact, I feel like shouldn't really exist on YouTube, but it does, and here we are. Oftentimes people who dislike your videos are people who aren't even showing up themselves and aren't producing content. So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind if you are stepping into a space where you're putting yourself out there. Self-doubt should not be fed by others on the outside. Oftentimes my own self-doubt was because I was just worrying that I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. And that will lead us into the next section. The next section is self-discovery. So throughout this whole process, what I found was so cool about releasing 31 videos in 31 days was that I got to dip my toes in a bunch of different types of topics because I've never really made a decisive point of being like, this is what I talk about on this YouTube channel. It's often been just kind of all over the place with whatever I was thinking about or doing at the time or inspired by. So by doing this self-discovery, it was cool to be able to do a ton of different things, and then now sitting here on day 31 reflecting back on what I liked the most. And that brings me to another question that was asked, and this was asked by a friend of mine, Leah. She said, your fave so far. Okay, Leah, when I had the thought of just looking back on that playlist, my one was talking about periods actually and women's health. I loved doing the research for that video. I felt so proud to put that video out. And then as well, one of my favorite videos was the 1 hour sleep routine, which I have already mentioned in this video. I loved doing the research and getting into that video. I also love doing little vlogs, like doing things around the house, the home reno things like a new wall, as well as the subway tile in the kitchen and the gallery wall. Those are all things that I love sharing. Oftentimes when you're doing a YouTube video, you shouldn't think of immediate gratification. Oftentimes we're looking at people that have subscriberships of 100,000 plus, 1 million subscribers, and we see their numbers climb so quickly in a matter of minutes after publishing. One thing I want you to keep in mind if you are first starting a YouTube channel is that that is not going to be the case, and to be honest, it's not going to be the case for a really long time. But it doesn't mean that your content, your videos aren't going to get a lot of views. And by this, I mean I posted a video last Youtober, my attempt at it, of different ways to post Polaroids around your house, crafty ways to hang them and put them on display. And now that video has 25,000 views, but then it didn't climb quickly in the ranks at all. The self-discovery and the leniency of giving myself a really long leash, you can create whatever you want, whether it be style, home, lifestyle, something about D&D, something about self-discovery and self-help, something that is so simple as a mundane vlog. You are going to be allowed to create whatever you want, whatever you are inspired by on a daily basis. And then at the end of this month, you're gonna reflect back on the analytics, the numbers, as well as what you enjoyed doing. And we're going to reel it back in for November, December, and moving forward in 2021. So that is one of the best things I found about doing this whole video series. The fourth thing I want to talk about is charisma and creativity. So you'd think by just seeing that throughout an entire month, hey, the spark must have been alive because you got a video out every single day. Well, that wasn't really what was happening behind the scenes. I found that I had extreme ebbs and flows, not only in my own outlook of how the month was going, but also in my creativity. I did feel like charisma was alive. The fact that I woke up every day at least thinking, okay, you're gonna do it again, versus waking up and thinking, this isn't gonna happen. Now, through the afternoon, sometimes I ended up feeling that way, but nonetheless, creativity with its ebbs and flows, sometimes you do have to force it through, and you don't really have time because you are on a timeline. I think it was so cool to force myself to be creative in the moments of the ebb and see what happened. Number 5, after doing 31 videos in 31 days, it now has me just thinking about forward thinking. So before this, I struggled to get a video out every single week consistently. Just one video every single week. That would be 4 videos a month versus 31, which now when I'm thinking about it, just blows my mind that I wasn't able to do that because I wasn't prioritizing it. So now with this forward thinking, I'm sitting in a place where I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you, as a single person on your team, I don't have an editor, I don't have a shooter. Sometimes in 2 videos, Scott sat beside me. I don't have anyone helping me on the back end of this at all, whether it be promotion to creation. And if you think that you can't get 1 video out a week, Missy, you are mistakenly wrong, and I will show you the case study. It was October 2020 when you released a video every single day. That forward thinking and that self-development, as well as just that self-reassurance that I can, was something that I will not let go of now. And now when I think of what I want to create, I think of that self-development topic. I think of creativity as well, how I do the things that I do as a solo person creating, because likelihood at home, if you're just starting a project like this, you probably don't have a team backing you up just yet. That's the dream for me too. So after going through this month, if you were someone who commented every day, if you were someone who liked any video, if you were someone who took time out of your day to watch one of these videos, thank you, because it means so much to me. And I'm really excited to see kind of as this month goes, what grows, what kind of just stays stagnant, and where will we go next? I think my goal is to post 2 videos a week moving forward. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break at the very beginning of November, and then after that, if there's a surprise 3rd video a week, then we will see what happens. As for me, I am so grateful for the opportunity for me to just show up here on YouTube and have this space. I'm also grateful to other women that I look up to on the YouTube space. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video. This was our last video, and I hope that it inspired you to maybe start a project you're ready to start, or dive into a creative space like YouTube. This is me giving you permission to be really bad at something before you get good at it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. But she won't feel the same for me. I've got this picture in my mind. It's just the 2 of us.